So several days ago, the WebBot IDR report came out, immediacy data report, but it's odd because normally it's just a short window of time that they focus on, whereas this time they were the title or the subtitle or whatever it was, I thought said went out to the year 2025 or something, but he says for the most part July 20th, 21st ish is the time frame to pay attention to the things he's mentioning here, I guess. And first of all, the whole fact about this whole month of July 2014 should be some kind of big event. The V guy, you know, the banking source, talked about, you know, some event happening, and it's, you know, ultimately tied to the silver market. And I don't know about that, but I do know this plane being shot down is no coincidence. Also, you have Christine Lagarde, head of the IMF, literally just coming right out front and talking about cycles of 7 and take the 0 off. You have, you know, 720 and all this weird stuff that she didn't even know what the hell she was talking about, but she's looking down at the paper she was told. And the funny thing was how she starts that representation is, or presentation. Yeah, they tell me what to do and I just do what I'm told. And I guess I wasn't supposed to speak yet, so I guess I didn't follow directions very well. Something like that, whatever. Then she goes on to talk about this weird cycle of 7 and makes you wonder, is the big global currency reset about to take place? Are they about to say something this week? Anyways, WebBot report, IDR report. This is focusing on today, right now, plus or minus 3 days. At least most of this stuff. I don't know if everything was for these, you know, next few days, or just some of this, because again, he had a thing out going out years, so I don't know. Announcements, keywords missing papers, keywords redacted, incomplete. So something's coming up in which you're going to hear about that. Now, the interesting thing I'd say in that regards is already come out: IRS scandal. Missing emails, hard drives deleted, blah blah blah. But this seems to be a little different because it's talking about keywords missing papers, keywords redacted. But again, if by chance, we did find the emails from the IRS. Oh, we did have a backup. Okay, let's see what they say. And then redacted. That could be a possibility. Military officers crying meme seems to be related to the missing papers / redacted stuff. Not sure what that's about. Military officers crying related to these missing papers / being redacted, whatever that I just talked about. Which would make one believe this may not have anything to do with the IRS. Opportunities dwindle related to global pop entity and markets entity datasets. Carnage of numbers and dollars. Market related, huge losses, last minute effort that will fail. Housing market crash coming to Midwest area to start with. Related keywords: bad luck, negative growth without certainty. Markets weighed down, markets frozen in fear. Some type of fuel scandal seems to be coming here to the US, although it could be global, he says. Fuel scandal. I wonder if by chance they're going to finally blow the whole thing wide open. Early 1970s, we found these two massive, unbelievable sized pools of oil off of Gull Island, Alaska. They hushed it up. National security because we need the whole world to start using our dollars to buy and sell oil, and there's so much oil needed nowadays and will be in the future, that what better way can we have to have people buy our debt than to force them to use our dollars for oil, which is a huge incentive for them to buy our debt so they have dollars on hand. That's why we hushed that up. So with all these crazy high oil prices, gas prices right now, absolutely uncalled for, and for the last 40 years, absolutely uncalled for anytime the price rose. Because we have one at first, and then two, a second one, pool of oil that each of them, they said, could supply the United States with 200 years of growth, including 200 years of growth. So 200 plus 200, that's 400 years worth of oil off these two pools. And again, I know Lindsey Williams not been happy with his last video, but a good while ago, he talked about when he was on those doing his radio shows. Again, his elite friend spoke with him, whatever, and said, hey, look up the USS Liberty oil rig. When we go to commercial break, look it up and see where it's heading. So I did. USS oil rig, largest oil rig ever created, en route to Alaska, near Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Oh, it's going to be tapping that oil that we found 40 years ago. It's exactly what he said was going to happen. But not until the events that the elite have planned take place first. Part of which is dumping our dollar, them dumping our dollar, the Middle East and other nations, because we leave them, we come out, we're devaluing the dollar. Sorry about that. And or your debt, the bonds, but ultimately the dollar is being devalued. They're upset. We got all these dollars we've had all these years, now they're becoming worthless. Not happy, we're not selling you oil anymore, get lost. Oh no, what are we going to do for oil? Oh my God. Oh my goodness, we just found a huge pool of oil in Alaska. And by chance, we have the largest oil rig ever created that was sitting there for at least a year now, on standby, with the taps on, just waiting. Coincidence. So maybe that scandal can possibly come out. But none of this has been announced yet. Haven't had the dollar devalued, haven't had the Middle East and other countries tell us to go pound sand, we don't want your dollars anymore, you're not getting our oil. Haven't had that happen yet. But seeing the turn of events recently, plane being shot down, this big beating of war drums against Russia, Ukraine, all this stuff happening, I'm wondering, are they doing this so that they can make, like they always do on Wall Street, make the price of oil rise through not selling of the paper, holding on to it, letting the prices rise, like they did in 2008, just like Lindsey Williams predicted, again. And then they're going to say, because the gas prices are so high, it just destroyed any chance and hope of recovery that the United States was experiencing. We were doing okay, things were getting good, slowly but surely, and now gas prices are above 100 and whatever, pick a number, and now the recovery is stalled. All of a sudden, it's getting worse, gas prices are going higher, oh my God, we now have to devalue our dollar to deal with this crisis. I think that's how it'll happen. There has to be some huge event that affects the economy big time. And the Federal Reserve gave you a hint when Ben Bernanke was in charge just a couple years ago. When asked about the recovery, he said everything we should be able to handle pretty much anything that's thrown at us. As the Federal Reserve, we can handle it. Recovery will go nice and strong. Unless gas prices, oil, hit above $120 a barrel and sustain that for a while. That would be one thing we can't deal with. He said it. So what do you suppose will be the triggering event when they're ready to pull the trigger? That's what it will be. I guarantee it. Now, back to this report. Measurement, now he talks about this and that also regarding this scandal, and maybe this is all to do with it or some to do with it. He says, for example, this fuel scandal ultimately will screw with an official measurement such as like the weight of something changing. So they think the official weight of this fuel, oil, whatever it is something, but it's actually not. It weighs either more or less, whatever it is. There's a scandal going on somewhere. Someone's cheating someone, and it has to do with fuel. Also, possibly another MF Global scandal. Or scenario, not scandal. And if you don't know what MF Global was, people used MF Global as a basically, if you go out and got a futures contract, I want to play against wheat or corn or gold or silver, I'm going to use MF Global, in which a lot of parties didn't know their brokers were like the third or fourth party. And they used MF Global, and MF Global used JP Morgan and so-and-so. And MF Global was betting on some kind of, I think, sovereign debt, whatever it was, over in Eurozone. Made a wrong bet, and while it was betting, decided to use its customers' segregated accounts, which means that's like you can't touch that. But they did anyways, used it, made the bet, lost the bet. Now they don't have any money to deal with all these people who may want their money out or want to open a new trade or something, or pull the commodity out itself, give them the rest of the money. Sorry, we don't have it, it's gone. And they tried to have a federal judge rule on an earlier case to say, nope, even segregated accounts can be taken. And then that was overruled. No, you can't. So, from what I understand, most people got most of their money back. I don't know about all of it. But that's what happened with MF Global. John Corzine, former CEO, I believe, of Goldman Sachs back in the day, if I recall. One in the club. Plenty of pictures of him with Barack Obama, campaigning, taking pictures together. Did he do any jail time to date? No. Nothing. You want to talk about a criminal act beyond, you know, someone stealing? Oh, it's a felony if you steal over $300. If someone breaks in or goes to the store and steals over $300, it's a felony. Oh, how about $2 or $3 billion with a B? Billion. Is that a felony? Nope. Gets to walk free. So that's what happened with MF Global. Apparently there could be another one coming up. Obviously not with MF Global because they're gone, but some other company. The Global Coastal event, still in the data, seems to be manifesting, albeit slowly. Lots of alterations in currents and other oceanic anomalies. Another thing here, long-term data, so this is out some ways. Central banker system going away. That's always good news. Also, bifurcation of our currency may be around this August. Debt repudiation likely to be within the student loan debt bubble. Not even bubble, just the student loan debt, basically. Debt repudiation going to be happening there. We have over $1 trillion in student loan debt. Outstanding, I think. Outstanding. Still got to pay on that, guys. Come on. Yeah, we would like to, but we don't have a job. I had to move back in with my parents. We'll keep looking. I did, and I'm putting resumes all over the place, and there's about 100 other people behind me with the same criteria, with the same college degree. And there's a whole bunch of other people who already had the college degree years ago, have had experience in that job, that exact job, many years ago, but got laid off fairly recently. So they're way more qualified than the other 100 of us who just got out of college, have the experience and the college degree. We can't get a job. Sorry about your luck. Some kind of new protest that he's labeling walking protests appear to be leading people where they are walking around protesting government buildings. So rather than have a sit-in like they normally do and just sit there, there's going to be some kind of walking activity of whatever. These protests will be moving with lots and lots of people yelling enough to shake glass, and we might even hear about glass breaking in one of these buildings because of the sheer loud yelling and chanting. Some very well-named American-made products, this is the final thing I wrote down. Some very well-named American-made products, maybe like equipment from Caterpillar, big heavy-duty equipment, having to change the name and pretend they are some new product out of, say, Korea or somewhere else, since our American name has been tainted or tarnished, they don't want to say, oh, this is a Caterpillar product. Oh, we don't want to, we'd rather use some other product because that's American made. No, those damn Americans, the hell with that. We'll buy from some other company that makes a different tractor, you know, Kubota or whatever the other one is. Or Saab, I guess, I don't know. I think they have some. But that's another issue. So that, to me, that's interesting, that last one there, about having to change the name of some major product because the other parts of the world recognize it and say we don't want it strictly, oh, that's made in America, we don't want it. Not because we couldn't use it, because we actually could, but because it's made in America, and what America has done to the whole world and us for all these years, just devalued their dollar, screwed us out of all this debt we were holding for them, that we lent them, these bonds. We don't want nothing to do with them. So that, going back with older WebBot report stuff, which I mentioned just the other day, about these, what appeared to be people and American citizens and or military personnel, American. Okay guys, time to pack it up and leave these other countries. They've apparently had enough of us. They want us out. So go ahead and get on the next flight. Here's your money, whatever, per diem, whatever you got. Get on the flight and get out of here. Come back to America. And these people try to get on the flight. Here's my American dollars converted, equals that. Can I have a ticket, please? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't take American dollars. Well, I'd like to convert it to whatever you do. Well, we don't touch American dollars, period. You have to get the money some other way because we will not convert US dollars. Oh. Well, how am I supposed to get on this flight? I don't know and I don't care. Next, please, get out of line. Move. Next. That was a very long ago meme or whatever, not really a meme, in the WebBot, something that came out basically, and it wasn't in there just one little time. It had been mentioned a couple times at least, and there was some pretty good detail about it. And it's interesting for me, at least, when I, you know, knowing how long I've been following this WebBot and stuff, when I see some of the older stuff, the death of the dollar and all these issues that were called back when everything really looked pretty good, you know, to most everybody, it looked pretty darn good. You can start to see it now. You can really start to see these things starting to slowly, it seems like everything's slowly being set up to really start taking place. And now you're having other things kind of driving with other things to say, okay, those two things combined definitely can equal some stuff I remember back in the WebBot report taking place, you know, 4 years ago. So the simple fact that we've got this, you know, airliner shot down over Ukraine, and immediately the news is telling us who did it, which I think I need to do another video on this after this right now, so I'm going to just go ahead and stop this video.